Sue and Craig have equity in their home, plus some savings in the bank. They decided to buy a second property as a tenanted investment. They got advice from Toowoomba's Edge Lending, because Edge Lending are the experts in borrowing to buy investment property.
Hey everyone, Scott from Edge Specialist Advice Network. Hope you're all well. Hey, today we've got another installment of What the Numbers Say, and as always, we're using visual capitalist. Now, let me put myself up here. Today we're looking at the total economy's electricity generation for 2024, so pretty recent, only last year. So the biggest economies, what's the makeup or the breakdown of where they get their energy sources? Is it coal? Is it gas? Is it renewables? Is it nuclear? That's pretty much about the categories we're going to go and find. So let's have a look here. So we've got India, China, the US, EU, and then we've got a global average, which is really interesting. So let's have a look here. Okay, this bottom section is coal. India uses 73% coal for its energy, and it is an emerging powerhouse. China, more than half of its energy use, and it uses a lot of energy. It has very, very high-end manufacturing now, but it has a lot of it. It uses a lot of coal as well. Look at these two economies. They use a small amount of gas, and a couple of the reasons is that one is coal is still way cheaper for them, and there's a bountiful amount of coal. Especially China gets some really high quality clean coal from Australia when we're allowed to export it, in case we're not ruining the planet or whatever we do, trying to make some money. They do use some renewables, but I think realistically that's probably just a bit of a token. A little bit of nuclear energy. China and India are fast increasing their nuclear energy to use that as a base load, and so it'll be interesting to watch these two. But you can see how heavily they burn coal at the moment, considering how much energy they use and how much of a percentage of that energy is actually coal burnt. And these two countries have some of the cheapest energy on the planet. Now look at the US. The US is interesting. I want to take you a look at the US because look how much gas they use. Now Trump has said he wants to bring back coal because it is still the cheapest energy source, and that they want to start trying to, and it could be a fool's errand, but they want to try and bring back manufacturing and compete with some of the Chinese and even the Indian manufacturing, Vietnamese manufacturing, Mexican manufacturing. They want to try and bring the manufacturing back to their country, because whenever you go to war, if the person you're fighting was actually the one making all of your stuff, then you mightn't get any more stuff anymore. And a lot of that stuff makes up your military weapons for you to go and fight them. So it never made sense. So everyone's kind of, after the COVID scamdemic, now everyone's realised that you have to have some manufacturing as national security, or else you can never manufacture any sort of military defence for your own country. Therefore, you have no sovereignty at all. And this has been the big realization of where globalization is the hugest risk for a country ever. So globalization is we're ending that effectively. Let's have a look at the EU. The EU has the most expensive electricity on the planet, and nearly half of the EU electricity generation is made up from renewables. So even though they've got a large portion of nuclear, which after the construction cost is really low cost, they've still got the highest amount of renewables, and therefore the highest amount of electricity energy pricing. Look, let's go back here, and I also want to touch on the US. The US has such a large gas basin in the Permian Basin. They probably have the most gas and oil on the planet, actually. If they were actually, previous governments haven't allowed them to access it. They preferred to do this other thing where they go and steal other countries' oil, or they go and make sure other countries don't use their oil to keep the price of oil high. There's been a lot of, hello, it's Iraqi, it's on the phone, same sort of thing. It wasn't to steal the Iraqi oil, it was to make sure it never got out of the ground, so that the Alberta tar sands oil could get a price of $140 a barrel. Kind of crazy. Hey, all that information is starting to come out now, but you can see how much gas that the US is using today. The US could double or triple or quadruple that volume, and so the US could be a massive gas exporter, and the US therefore actually has the basis of having some of the lowest cost energy. So you can say, oh look, Trump's plan, it's ridiculous, he's never going to be able to bring back manufacturing to the US. No US citizens are going to sit there with little sewing machines doing all those little things that the Asians do. Yeah, I agree. But Asian factories are fast becoming all robots anyway, right? Human beings are there doing the tech repairing of the robots, making sure the robots are doing what they're doing well, but they're not doing the manufacturing. Those robots work 24/7. They're smart enough to reverse back in and to charge their batteries up 2 hours and come back to the production line. Like, you don't need thousands and thousands and thousands of slave labor when you've got those high-tech factories. What you need is cheap energy, and the US actually has it under the ground. If they can just get through all the layers of bullcrap and communistic bureaucracy, they can actually get to access it. So they've actually got some of the tools that could make the plan potentially work. There's a lot of problems with what they're trying to do. They may fail spectacularly, but they're having a crack at it. But they do have what I call stranded assets at the moment, as in they've got a huge amount of cheap energy that previous governments have not let them access for whatever reason. And it's interesting to watch that. Now, what other country do we know of that has an amazing amount of stranded assets or cheap energy all through the country? Uranium, coal, gas, oil, gold and silver, antimony, rare earths. What other country do we know that has all of these things? But it's just so damn hard to get through all the paperwork, the red tape, the green tape, the black tape. Australia. So we could probably have the cheapest energy on the planet, and therefore we could be a production powerhouse with factories full of robots making all high-tech stuff. But because we've been captured by the United Nations, and then we signed on to the Lima Agreement a long time ago, saying that we would slow down our economic growth so that emerging countries could catch up. It's only fair. No one really kind of understands that. That's why we don't pull anything out of the ground and use it here domestically, because we promised we wouldn't grow too fast so that people like Africa and Asia could catch up. Now they've surpassed us. And that's why Trump's pulling out of the Lima Agreement, because those guys were in it as well. Anyway, look, guys, I'm saying, what does it mean? What does it mean for us as investors? Knowing that Trump is going to pull out a lot of gas and a lot of coal out of the US, I'm probably a little bit bearish coal and gas prices. Therefore, you could probably be bearish coal and gas producers. Okay, you can expect their prices to stay low for the next 10 or 20 years. On that sector, where you could probably have the play is actually the drilling rigs and all those sort of things. Because there's going to be like an extra volume of those things going on. So the drilling rigs, the supply, whoever makes the pipes, who has the contracts to make sure all of the stuff gets out. But the actual businesses that make money from the actual commodity, I think is going to be in trouble. I can see natural gas coming right back, coal coming right back, oil will potentially be under $50 a barrel as well, because Trump said he wants that, and he tends to get what he wants. So as investors, guys, we're probably fairly soft on making money out of these things strategically straight off, whereas you can make way more money out of precious metals at the moment, base metals, even copper, gold and silver, of course, rare earths especially. If you really wanted to still be playing in the gold, coal, gas, it's the services, Schlumbergers, Halliburtons, those sort of guys, they're going to be still okay, because they're needed to pull all the commodity out, because it's going to be a race for, not just a race for the cheapest energy, it's going to be a race for the most volume of energy you can pull out for your country to power your robot manned factories, so that you can make high-tech stuff for your population, but mostly high-tech stuff for your military and your space tech. That is the shift. That is the deglobalization shift. So just understand what that means. So upside, petrol prices at the pump should be lower from here on in, if your government doesn't tax the hell out of it. All right, look, guys, I just wanted to bring you that and just show you which countries are using what to power their energy needs, but also the things that we can see in the future, and how to be careful not to play the play from 10, 20 years ago. It's changing. The play is changing on energy, so there's different ways to make money on energy now. All right, that's enough from me, guys. Remember, life is a family sport. Give yours an edge. See ya.
Superannuation is every Australian's most important investment. The decisions you make now can have a large impact on when you can afford to retire and the lifestyle you'll enjoy when you do. There are so many companies to pick from for your super, but did you know that you can also manage it yourself? Edge Financial Services can help you take control of your super and plan for retirement with a self-managed super fund. There are many different ways for you to invest in your future. To find out more about investment strategies that will give you the edge in retirement, visit edge.net.au today.